Minions, Princess Sarissa back, and I did my level grinding, and just want to point out everything I got. Now, this magic shop in the middle has the black magic. The one on the left has white magic, so we're not worried about it. And the shop on the right has the time magic. So as you can see, we got pretty much all the level 2 elemental spells. And for time magic, we got these 6 spells. So there's a few others that we're going to have to get a little bit later. But now we're going to head over to the armor and weapon shop. I did most of my shopping offline, off screen, but there's a few things I need to buy here real quick. We want to end up buying 3 Mithril knives. And that'll be for Lena, Whiskers, and Galuf. Right now I have Faris with the heal staff. She's basically going to be our healer. In terms of armor, I got 4 plume pads for everybody, 4 silk robes for everybody, and 3 silver rings. Lena's going to have the glasses to prevent the, just in case if the crew dust uses the flash spell to blind us. So, we're all set and ready to go, and we're going to head over into the fire ship. This is probably my least favorite dungeon in the game. Kind of reminds me of Phantasy Star 2. It's really technical, and sometimes it's hard to make things out, because the backgrounds are just so busy. There's so much stuff going on. These pipes and the different levels and floors. It's just difficult to kind of find things out. So we've got Mithril gloves. That's for like knights and, heavy armor classes. And there's a lot of really winding passages here that we kind of make things really annoying. So most enemies here are going to be weak to ice. So I'm going to have Lena, Whiskers, and Galuf all have ice rods to make their ice spells a little bit more effective. And those defeater enemies, if they're by themselves, after you defeat them, they summon these motor traps, but they're pretty easy. You just hit them with a lightning bolt, and they'll fall down and be defeated really easily. So, yeah, a lot of enemies in here, like if they're solo, they have interesting things happen. The defeaters will summon motor traps. The crew dusts will cast a flash spell and try to blind everybody. So here we have an elixir. As you can see, there's all this stuff going on. It's really, really busy, and sometimes it's hard to make things out what's going on. And here we have those crew dusts. Like most enemies in here, it's weak to ice. If you don't have a multi-targeting ice spell like my characters do, you make sure you don't want to defeat them first. You don't want to leave them by themselves, because that's when they will use, like that guy in the pub said, they'll use the blind spell on you. Not the pub, that one house. Not the pub, the one house. He said that if it's by itself, it's going to flash you, and that blinds all your characters. Unless you're wearing the glasses like how Len is. I'm going to head down here and get another elixir. There's going to be a lot of elixirs to get in the next dungeon minions. So, we're going to need them for much later in the game. And here we have a bunch of elevators, like the man on the ship, one of the guards on the top of the ship said. You just hit the red switch and it'll take you around. So we're going to go over to the right here real quick. That chest it kind of blends in a little bit, so you want to make sure you get that chest over to the right. It's kind of hard to see. So make sure you're getting it. You want to get that 100% completion. Now we just take this little small detour and we're back on another elevator. And let's head on down. And there's conveyor belts there. They're going in the opposite direction, so we can't get that chest just yet. We'll get it a little bit later. And here we have another new enemy, the Defeater. He's the little screamy guy down at the bottom. That's the reason we ended up getting the Mithril knives. He is weak to water and wind, but we don't have those spells. Those are kind of like blue magic spells. So the only way we're really gonna kind of defeat this guy is we can use our time magic. They use the Demi spell, which cuts hit points down in half. And then we can just keep hitting that until we get to the point where we can one-shot it with one of those Mithril knives. It has protection from all the elemental spells, so we won't be able to damage it with any of our rods. So that's why we ended up getting those Mithril knives. So the Mithril knives worked good there for also, the poltergeist can confuse your characters, like what it did to Lena there. And so we hit it with we gave Whiskers the Mithril knife to hit Lena, because if she remains confused, she'll start casting, spells against us, and they can really hurt, so. As you saw there, I forgot to give a knife to Lena, so when she hit the poltergeist, she actually healed it with the ice spell. So, yep. So make sure after about maybe two demis, we get it down to the point we can hit it with a knife and finish it off. So, and then afterwards, we'll just re-equip our frost rods. Most enemies here are weak to ice, so giving the frost rods is good because it helps enhance the power of our ice spells. And we're running through the ventilation shaft. Yeah, and just checking out my maps so I make sure I'm getting everything and seeing what directions I need to go. And another one of these happy little elevators. I'm going to take it up. A lot of winding, confusing passages in this little dungeon, which is another reason why. Not necessarily one of my favorites. I want to take the top chutes first. You don't want to take the bottom left chute. That basically leads to a dead end. The second chute from the left, that takes you to the boss. The other two lead to some treasure. Once again, the conveyor belt's going the wrong way, so we're going to have to take a long detour to get that treasure chest that we saw there. Going once again through the ventilation shaft. And we end up going here and getting the green beret. It's a helmet, a light helmet, and basically it increases your character's max hit points. So, it could be good for a squishy character, like a wizard or whatever, so we'll probably equip that a little bit later, but right now, we're just going to try to get through this this dungeon. And we're going to take the elevator back up, and now we can take you don't necessarily have to take this door, this chute. Basically, it's just going to lead to basically a dead end, so I misread my map. So, yeah, nothing to do there. Just end up in a windy conveyor belt. But now you know if you actually take a wrong turn later on when we get to that conveyor belt, you know where to go to get back. So here we are. We want to avoid the chute on the far left. That leads to a dead end. And actually, in post-commentary here, I'm realizing you can also avoid this chute here. Because it basically just takes you to the passageway where we end up getting the green beret. So, took a small little detour here, but yeah, that's okay. It's not that far to get back to the room we were just in, and go down the right chute that we want to go into. And we want to go into the second chute from the right. And that'll take us down into this hole. And that'll take us to this treasure chest here that we saw much earlier, but we couldn't get because the conveyor belt was going the wrong way. It's the thief's gloves. It increases the chance of you being able to successfully steal something from an enemy. I think up to 50%. So it's good if you have a thief, but we don't have a thief in this in our party, and we ain't allowed to use that thief class. So, yeah, not going to be good for us, but if you have a thief, there's some really good equipment that you can only get by stealing, especially toward the end of the game. So, and now we're just got to do a lot of backtracking to get ourselves back to the chute room, as I'm going to refer to it. And now we're going to take the second from the left, and that's going to put us on the path toward the boss. And the boss is, like everything else in here, pretty much weak to ice. Well, it definitely is weak to ice. First, we're going to head over that staircase on the upper right there. The door in front of us will take us to the boss. So let's take the stairs first so we can get the rest of the treasure here. Boink! And we just want to hit this little switch, and it opens up that little door, a little door passage, and we can get the Moonring blade. That's a type of blade. I believe it's a boomerang blade used by thieves and ninjas. Ninja's a class that's going to be unlocked shortly, but it's one of those classes that we cannot use. Our fire crystal job that we're going to get is called the Beastmaster, and they basically use whips. And that's why we kept, we never sold that whip that we got from Mage back on the North Mountain, where we got the Hiryu, the Windrake. And here's kind of a little puzzle room. You see all those little levers? Hitting those levers moves the different catwalks and bridges around here. So we want to hit this one here. And we want to hit this one here, not because we need to, but it allows us access much later to that chest up there, the final chest. And we don't want to hit this switch because it blocks this switch from operating and extending this bridge. Now that we've extended that bridge, we can walk all the way over here. But we're going to have to retract the bridge so that we can hit this. We can hit the this switch right here to move this platform up here. And since we hit the switch much earlier in the dungeon, we will now have access to the final treasure in this ship and another elixir. And now we can head into this door here, and we are going to fight the boss. And it is not the queen, but it's kind of a weird boss. We'll talk about him when we fight him here. Queen Karnak! What's going on? Uh-oh. She has that, like, purple cloud around her, like, the king of Tycoon did. Infidels, you shall pay for interfering with my plans. I guess this is the dark cloud that soldier was talking about, that he was saying the captain. The captain was like, oh, dark cloud. And here we have the boss. We have the liquid flame. He has 3 different forms: a man, a tornado, and a hand. They all share the same hit point pool, 3,000 hit points, but depending on when you defeat it, you'll get a different item. So if you beat the man, you get a fire scroll. If you beat the tornado, you get a fire rod. And if you beat it while it's a hand, you get the fire bow. All forms are weak against ice, except for the hand. The hand's a little different. But yeah, when you hit it successfully, it'll change its form. So we're just going to haste ourselves up a little bit. Haste is a time mage spell that makes us act faster. It fills that little yellow bar next to our hit point totals. It makes it go a little bit faster. So, as you can see, sometimes it counterattacks when it changes forms. So we want to be able to be fast, especially Faris, so that she can heal ourselves up. Because she's our kind of our white wizard. Now, when it's a hand, you'll notice that basically has really high magic defense, so our Ice 2 didn't even hurt it at all. So at this point, what we want to do is, we want to, similar when we were fighting those poltergeists, we want to take off our ice rod or elemental rod, if you're using a different elemental rod, and you want to replace it with that mithril knife. This will allow us to hit it just once, and then that'll cause it to do that, its counterattack, and then change forms once again. And now it'll change back to the little man form, and we can finish it off with one more Ice 2 spell, and boom. Since we beat it in the man form, we're going to get that fire scroll, which is throwing a weapon for the ninjas class. But we're not going to use the ninja class because we're not allowed to, so that's just for selling for money. And we've successfully destroyed the engine, so we're safe now. Woohoo! Hopefully the crystal's safe. Queen Karnak! I was being controlled by something, an evil spirit. It desires to develop everything in darkness. Your Highness, the crystal is not just the machines that are destroying them. Something evil is using their power to resurrect itself. Please save the fire crystal. It's in the room just beyond that pipe. Okay. Let's go check on the queen real quick. Do not worry about me. More importantly, protect the crystal. Okay, so now we can head on. Go through this long, narrow pipe. It's like Behemoth's long, narrow hallway in Final Fantasy 1. Long, unnecessary walk to the fire crystal. And hey, it's still intact. Woohoo! The fire crystal. Uh-oh, what's that? It's the werewolf. He got in. Thank goodness it's still intact. Hey, he must be a good guy. He's happy the crystal's intact. Galif? Hey, he knows Galif just like that soldier in the Walsh Tower did. We won't let you touch the crystal, werewolf. Stand down. I am not your enemy. I'm not so sure about that. Come on, Whiskers. He seems like a nice guy. Galif, say something. What's happened? Is something wrong? You know me? I can't remember a thing. Who in blazes am I, anyway? Uh-oh. We got another soldier coming in. What's he doing? He's hitting that button up there, that switch. You there, what have you done? Sending that much power through the crystal will smash it to smithereens. Oh, no. He's probably possessed like the queen was. And this makes 3. One more and the seal is broken. Wahahaha. What do you think of my villain laugh, minions? Uh-oh. Quick escape. No good, the switch is broken. Now that werewolf could have easily made it through there. But they had, I guess they have to have a dramatic sequence coming up here. That werewolf could have escaped. We could have used him in our party. He's a good guy. Galif, I'll hold us back. You four must escape. Only one chance remains. Save the Earth Crystal. We don't know where the Earth Crystal is. It doesn't have an amplification device, apparently, according to Sid. He only made it for the water, wind, and fire crystals. Go, once the crystal shatters, the whole room will go up in flames. Get out of here and protect the last crystal with your lives. Werewolf! We have to help him! Uh-oh. The room is catching fire. Oh no, we fell in a big hole. Galif, you're our only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Boom, and the crystal shatters. And the room explodes into flames, and we lose our friend the werewolf. Wow, this is a dark game. It's really weird, because most people consider it kind of a lighthearted, there's a lot of goofy moments in it, but yeah, it kind of balances itself with some really dark moments, you know. Uh-oh. And now the fire's going out. The flames are dying. The fire crystal must have lost its power. If we head in here, and this is one time in the game, the crystal shattered. Well, you don't need a thief to run. Our characters will automatically run because the castle's about to blow up. Yep, the werewolf is gone. He got trapped in here. And Lena's like, we have to hurry. The castle's held together by the power of the fire crystal. Hold up, so now the crystal's gone, the castle's gonna blow? Yep. And that's why, we can now run real quick. We have 10 minutes to escape the castle, but there's a whole bunch of really good treasure in here, and that's why I level grinded, so I can take out these tough monsters guarding the treasure. And that's what we'll do next time, minions. Take care, have a good one. We're gonna head back here real quick, though. Free healing pot. Now we're ready to go healed up. Take care, minions. Bye.